It's Total Nonstop Impact. It's the Sunday dinner, the Impact Plus Weekly. And this is Trelon, my co-host, Bill, J-Bone, and Alicia. We're here on Sunday night because we have nothing better to do, clearly. Talk about goddamn Xplosion and Around the Ring. I don't even know what the hell we're doing anymore, guys. J-Bone, straighten me out a little bit. Why are we even doing this show right now?
The Packers are done.
Exactly.
Oh.
The reason I said all that.
Hey, you were there, J-Bone.
J-Bone.
Hey, what a great coaching decision by the Green Bay head coach. Oh, too soon.
So poor J-Bone's he's in a state of distress right now. He's not doing too good. I don't even know why we're doing this.
Anytime we see a botch, we're going to call it a LaFleur from now on.
Oh, my goodness. Poor J-Bone. How you doing, J-Bone? Are you holding up okay?
See, I haven't watched NFL football in about 3 years.
You're not going to watch it for another 18.
And this is, yeah, whatever, Tony. I reminded myself today. Now, this is going to sound like sour grapes, but whatever. I really don't care.
Yeah, one night, and then I quit the business for 18 years.
There you go. I reminded myself today why I stopped watching the NFL. The officiating, garbage. Complete garbage. They let them play through like 3/4 of the game, let them get away with all sorts of shit, which is fine. Until they call it on something that was done probably 20 times in the last 3/4 of the game. Now, why are you going to call that now? That's bullshit.
Wait, can
That's
we talk
they
about
Rudy Charles that.
That's definitely some Rudy. Wait, can we talk about the NFL on this show? Because last time we talked about the NFL on Total Nonstop Impact, Twitch kicked us off for like a week. So we got to be careful about that.
No, that's because we accidentally we co-streamed and we weren't supposed to co-stream because we didn't have permission and we didn't know that we didn't have permission and we just didn't know.
Big oops.
But we learned, and we
got the channel back.
Anyone for covering that.
Oh,
stuff.
sure. Yeah.
We
At least we weren't showing shaving cream on nipples or nothing. Oh,
That's
Bring
true.
it back.
Hey.
I do miss that about her. I do miss seeing her doing that, just coming out there and not so much.
She had the energy, bro.
Yeah,
and her
fun.
girlfriend.
And the girlfriend. It was fun.
She was positivity in the locker room.
Yeah.
It was.
It was fun, and I do love RVD. He's one of my faves. So yeah, it just it was funny.
I'm down to get an soundbite in our bank here. We need that. That's
That'd
all we
be
got
cool.
on the list. Yeah, let's
Get
let
on
Kyle
a
know about that.
scumbag.
Yeah, let's let him know about that. But what's going on, you guys? It's Sunday. We're just going to talk a little Xplosion. There was no actual Around the Ring this week. It was the This is Hard to Kill special. I don't know how much there is to really talk about since the pay-per-view's already done. So I figure we could just talk the match real quick. Just mention how we can maybe talk about how that special was a cool addition to Impact. Something cool to do. And then we'll just open it up, and then so maybe a little shorter episode today, I guess. But we'll open it up for any topics.
More room to talk. More room to talk with the people.
And boy, can we talk.
We definitely can talk. We talk Impact is the Twitter handles, but that's sure. Like Basil was telling me, he's like, I don't know how you guys. He goes, they got 1 2-hour fucking show a week, and you people squeeze out like hours of content out of one show like a week. He's like, I don't know what the hell, how you do it, but like you guys manage to squeeze out every like nook and cranny and piece of juice out of this orange every week. It's nuts. But J-Bone, you do have some news, right? You got a little news to talk about this week?
I was like all excited about this piece of artwork, and then I realized I really don't have much to talk about. At least I don't think I do. I've kind of spent the last couple days away from the world of professional wrestling and trying to figure out how I'm going to redo this crazy office. But I do want to share something because this is
Good.
damn funny. This is from one of our beloved watchers who contributes a lot of laughs in our direction.
Mm-hmm.
So so someone is visiting me in the control room there, as you can see. So yeah.
I just noticed it.
Oh yeah, I saw it right away.
That's awesome.
Just he's keeping an eye on me over my my right shoulder there.
Oh my god, that's
Good old-
awesome.
I feel
Good
like
old
somebody
Bernie.
put him also next to Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah. He's been popping up all over the place. He's going to start his wrestling career soon, and apparently he wants to join our podcast. I'm moderating that conversation. It's not going well.
You feeling the burn, David? You feeling that burn?
Man, can we get that photo? We should tweet it out. I guess like everybody's doing it, right? Why aren't we? So we'll put that out there. So,
Might as well.
So thank you, Zach. You brought me some laughs tonight right before we went live.
talk about viral. That shit exploded this week. Unbelievable.
So yeah, it brought a few laughs because I know there was some tension this week, and this isn't meant to be like bringing up political topics or something and to upset people by any means. We try to keep it very low key here. You guys know that.
Did you guys hear about people who were dogging other people for posting it, not for the fact that because they took that as a political affiliation, so they were like, you posting Birdie means you support Birdie and fuck you. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like everybody's posting that meme right now. And people are like,
that
oh
just deserves.
Come on, man.
They got politics.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's let's have a laugh. I mean, for crying out loud, everybody's so insanely sensitive. It's like, damn,
you can't laugh at politicians. What good are they?
Right? Yeah.
It's why we love Jay Leno. It's why we love Jimmy Fallon. It's why we love all the other night show people that give us laughs throughout the years. Whether it didn't matter what side of the if they were Republican or Democrat, they cut on them all and made us all laugh about everything.
The only candidate I want in 2024 is this guy.
You guys swing?
I'd vote for that son of a bitch in 2 seconds. Like,
hey,
no
I'm gonna throw. Pardon the noise. I'm going to throw my my bandana in for VP. How about that?
Is that your bandana organizer?
That's my collection. Yeah,
Your Johnny Swinger collection.
That's pretty awesome.
So hashtag JBoneVP 2024.
There you go. Beautiful. Let's talk about the match real quick, and we'll touch on the other part of the interview segment. I guess we can mention. So Xplosion for this week.
There wasn't one.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was the Hard to Kill special replayed.
Yeah.
I want to mention something about that just when we get.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So the match is Shera and Rhino.
Yeah.
War Machine, Rhino.
Good timing. Good timing. But now, how many people are thinking it's him behind that door? By the way, that Rich Swann, Rich Swann's face lit up like a Christmas tree in that little clip. He's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, is that Monty Brown? I have my theories, but I'm thinking I don't know. We'll put our guesses in later on. But anyway, interesting to see Shera back again. I'm guessing it's part of the same taping, so he was there.
Is it Odark? Because he's also owes my money.
I love that.
I missed that version of him.
I love that clip because it makes no sense. Is it Odark or is it owes my money? What? But I love it. But no, I guess I know Shera. Bill, you might have seen him. He's doing Ohio Valley stuff, right? He's permanent resident of Ohio Valley Wrestling, I think.
You know what? I have to check. Obviously, our good buddy Daniel Spencer would be more on top of that. I think he did at least one. I didn't know if he did beyond one now. Because a lot of guys, Rohit did one. Ace Austin did a couple. So there is kind of some talent exchanging going back and forth. But I wasn't sure how much he's been doing. I got to catch up. I have a bunch of Ohio Valley on my DVR I got to catch up on.
I know he lives there because he came up on my recommended friends on Facebook. And I clicked. I'm like, oh, it's Shera. And he does live in Louisville. So I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
So I'm like, he must be a regular down there, or at least training down there or something. So I'm assuming he drove down with Spencer, and maybe that
Makes
happened.
sense. Yeah, because I'm looking into that because I'm thinking about because now they're doing Tuesdays again and some weekends. So I think I might have to make a trip back down to Ohio Valley maybe in the next month or two.
All right, cool. I don't know what you guys think, Alicia. I mean, I thought it was not. I'm not usually huge on Shera, but he actually looked pretty good in this match.
Yeah, for sure.
And I got to credit. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but I think it's one of those things where you're in there with a guy like Rhino who can like work with anybody, because Rhino literally can work with anybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right, and like bring out the best out of anybody. And I'm like, I think he drove Shera, like kick it up a notch, and he's taunting the audience. Like I don't know, it was one of the better Shera performances I've ever seen. And I was pretty impressed. I don't know, Jay, you got anything on this?
Yeah, I wasn't, this was a great veteran and a great, another big guy, young guy, Shera, just kind of brawling and throwing each other around. And I actually like this one. I like it. That's one thing we don't get a lot in Impact Wrestling. So yeah, I appreciated this one. This one was a toss-up. Shera looks like he's got a little more confidence. He's still, I don't want to use the term green. I don't want to be that mean or that critical of him, but he needs something. Maybe it's just because he hasn't been. I don't know how much he's been wrestling while he wasn't on TV. I have no idea. But this match was decent. I did like it. Because they were throwing each other around, like I said, good back and forth, and just slow paced. That's okay. When you got two big guys, it doesn't have to go 100 miles an hour. That's what you expect out of a big guy match, Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was okay with this. This was nice. Great to see Shera. He seems like he's improving, and man, I've always loved Rhino. So.
Yeah. Is there anybody who doesn't like Rhino? Like who doesn't like Rhino? I can't be alone in this. Like I think of that. There's nobody. Like Bill, is there anybody? Have you met anybody? I've never met anybody who doesn't like Rhino. Put it that way.
No. Everybody likes Rhino. Everybody likes Rhino.
I'm gonna snowflake and criticize him for not shaking my hand when I met him. like 9 years ago, he wouldn't shake my hand. He had the fist bump. No,
he's a fist bumper though. He's done that before. He's a fist bumper. Go ahead.
I would be. People don't wash their hands.
Exactly.
Pre-COVID, he was ahead of the game.
Yeah, he was doing it a lot.
No, this is true. This is true. Yeah, I went to shake it. It was on a Ring of Honor meet and greet, and he was he last on the table? No, he was third on the table next to the champ Kevin Steen at the time. And I went to shake his hand, and he goes like this, and I was like, oh. Because I was kind of new with the fist bumps back around then. Then everybody was fist bumping. I was like, what the
fist bumps were new?
What's this thing? Okay, got it.
Jim was like, "You want to fight me or something? What's going on here?"
I thought it was like a Joe Doring. Ooh,
I do like what Armand's saying here. They do need to like mention that he's a former champion more often. I thought they did, but
they did in this match.
This match,
I'm saying they don't usually do it, but they did in this match.
Josh,
that was our boy Josh, man, and this could be his last hurrah here. This may have been a swan song for the GOAT.
They said a future Hall of Famer too. So that's
future Hall of Famer.
They've been giving him a lot of love lately, Rhino. Whenever he's doing like a singles match, they do say little things like that. Josh has been good about that. This is probably one of the last few Josh explosions we're going to get. Unless maybe he's going to keep doing explosions. I don't know, but because we did get the switch with the commentary.
Yeah, no, they look good. Both of them, I think it was a good match. Rhino gets the win with the spear. But does anybody want to see Shera back? What's everybody in the chat? You guys in the chat sound off. Do we want to see Shera back? Is he good for Xplosion? Like stuff like this. Not a bad.
Can't lose every match though.
Can't lose every match.
He lost now 2 times in I think the month or 5 weeks he's been on Xplosion. So he's got that. He's coming off heel monster. Yeah, I like the yelling at the camera. Yeah. Good.
I thought he won the last one.
I don't think he did.
I could have sworn it. Yeah, because when I made the cover, I was like, "Oh, he's back." He made the. I don't know.
I think he did, Bill. He beat Suicide, didn't he?
I thought.
Well, that's why I assume. I think that's the only person he could beat is Suicide.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Suicide.
Maybe cousin Jake.
Oh, come on. Take it easy on Jake.
Ooh.
Jake's shifting right now. Let's take it easy on Jake. We got to take it easy on Jake something.
He's evolving.
He's getting there.
Oh, I'll say.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I'd like to. Okay, put it this way. Personally, if Xplosion was more than one match, I don't mind it. Like, he could be another match, or if there's a 3 match. I think Xplosion should be 3 matches. Like, cut this other shit out, and just give us 3 fresh matches of guys who aren't getting TV time and girls who aren't getting TV time. Work out some of those tag teams. But you got new knockouts tag teams forming. Test them out on this show, on Xplosion. See how a couple couples are gelling a little bit. Then bring them to the other one. Contend against Kira and Tasha. You got to. I don't know. I think Xplosion's just there's so much on the damn table. We're like a broken record. We talk about this every week.
Yeah,
there's so much on the table with this show.
I think this is a year they are going to evolve stuff. They have been doing better with the whole like around the ring thing, and that's certainly a good sign of the evolution of this show. So I think just patience, and like, hey, this roster is going to change a lot this year. We all know that there's people exiting, there's new faces coming in, so we'll see where they place them.
Yeah, we'll see, guys. We'll find out. There was no around the ring this week, so no, our boy Penzer, he ain't around, Penzer. But Bill, we'll break this out. It was it was a little bit of a different thing, but this aired after the pay-per-view. But talk about it.
Well, yeah, this was the This Is Hard to Kill. So it focused all on the main event of Hard to Kill. Which this ended the show because we did get and we can go back to in the middle there sandwich Hard to Kill Eddie versus Elgin, but we'll let Jay get into that. So it's obviously a big focus on Kenny. Kenny and Don are the stars of that whole segment. They were the build, Good Brothers, obviously promoting them tonight. And then Rich Swann and the Guns, because obviously Moose was not yet in the match. They get a little piece of this, but it was very heavy Kenny Omega praise.
Big time. It's the Kenny Omega show.
It is the Kenny Omega
on Xplosion this week, for sure. What I wanted to mention about this, even though it's not a normal sit-down, and because like Alicia and I, we were talking off air, we were like, it's literally the Kenny Omega like praise segment is what this was.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, what I liked about it, it's that it's cool they're doing stuff like this. Like, this was part of a special that literally aired the night before Hard to Kill, right? And it was on that Friday night. And it's like a hype piece. Like, imagine, doing that for, like, have that wrestle week that they did. That was a lot of fun. Just a lot of shit. And it's all fresh content. It was all fresh interviews. I'm in for, like, those kind of fresh interviews. Like, that fresh content is always welcome.
For sure.
I wouldn't mind if they started doing these kind of, like, wrestle weeks for, like, the other shows. Like, there's No Surrender coming up and, like, the Impact Plus specials. Do, like, a fresh content interview sit down for those too. Like that, it's cool if they have the resource to do it. So that's my thing. It's like I like that they did it. So keep doing it. So I don't know. Anybody's got any other thought on that? I'm in for that. Plus we have No Surrender coming up.
Yeah. Original content is always welcome on different formats, just to keep everything fresh, keep eyes coming on like different stuff. Like, hey, check this out.
Yeah. Like Armand's saying here about Xplosion now, like 20 years and it's never been a B show. Like there's never really had a full on B show. Like there's never Xplosion was like we look at the Xplosion ones results, we do the throwbacks, and it's like these gems on Xplosion, like these fucking crazy matches on the old Xplosion from the back in the day. And I'm like, they've never put that out. They don't use clips. I'm like, how the hell did this shit just get buried? So
Xplosion never was a time frame show. That's why until recently never had belts, never had storylines. That's what they're doing now, and you even said it. And I know on Impact Plus at least this drops on Sunday, which was after Hard to Kill.
Right.
So internationally, I don't know who was the first to see this. Maybe Fight Network in Canada, maybe a couple days before Hard to Kill, hopefully. If not, then it doesn't make any sense at all to show it how they showed it this week. But that's the reason they've always been the way they treat this is like a best of filler show.
Yeah. Recap stuff. Well, speaking of the recap,
it's the Impact Rewind.
That's what it is. Speaking of that, Jay, what was the recap? Was an interesting one. This kind of interesting that they showed this one, seeing as how they've been burying this guy a little bit, so people don't see much.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was they called it a classic, but I don't know. It's not much of a classic. It was barely a year old. Hard to Kill from 2020. Before everything went to hell. Bill
and I were there. We were there.
That's right.
Well, what they like to do is put over that current pay-per-view, which could be the monthly, it could be the big one. And obviously there's only one Hard to Kill. and this is the match they obviously chose for it.
So this is for the Collier Shot Trophy. Elgin had it, and Edwards was going for it. And I watched this back, and I know it's been a controversial topic, and we all have our different opinions on Elgin, and that's okay. That's okay. But man, I gotta tell you, watching this one back, dude, this is one of the hardest hitting matches of the last year that I can remember. I mean, they literally kicked the shit out of each other, dude. It was so stiff. Those forearms and those strikes and the elbows, everything was just like, oh my God. A couple of those times when Elgin hit Eddie, I'm like, he's going to need his jaw realigned. Jesus Christ.
How stiff was that, Jay? Was that real stiff?
It was insanely stiff. It was. I knew that was coming. Not that kind of stiff.
It reminded me. It reminded me what a letdown that whole situation was without, like, the fact that it just, like, he's a great wrestler, but man,
they even had the commentary putting it over. Like, he recently had that Marufuji match at Bound for Glory, which we were all at. And then he was over in Japan. So this was like, he was on a high right now. Obviously, he was scheduled to be world champion.
Yeah, there was no doubt.
I think we all thought by Rebellion he was world champion.
Absolutely. So, yeah, listen, that, keep your nose clean, man. That things will come back and get you and derail your shit.
And I tell you what, and I'm just going to throw this out there, like I said, and I know some of us have different opinions, and that's okay. This isn't meant to incite an argument or anything like that. But I watched his YouTube video from, it's like a month ago or something like that. It's like at the end of 2020. And he basically goes through everything that he was, like, accused of, because everything was settled or close to being settled or something to that. I don't remember exactly what he said about that, because you got to be careful of what you say about that online, but it had to have been settled because he had papers and everything stating that this case did this and this case did this and this case did this. He talked about his divorce and everything. Like, I didn't even know he was divorced. So he put it all out on the table and said, look, this is what I was accused of. This is exactly what happened. These stories were false. They were embellished. He went through everything piece by piece and explained what was going on. And I was like, wow. I mean, I propped him for that. It wasn't like, Joey Ryan looking all cracked out and, trying to, like, get his cases fixed or whatever the hell he's doing. I don't know. But hey, I think time will tell if Elgin comes back to the public eye for wrestling. Maybe he'll come back to Impact. I don't know.
It's going to be risky for whoever takes him back, honestly, just from a press standpoint. So I don't know. It's one of those things where you guys in the chat, you can sound off if you want him back, if you ever want to see him back. But I personally don't think he's coming back to Impact. Bill, I think you thought he might, though. Like, were you saying that today?
I think there is a chance that he might. Like obviously we know there's a tease for anybody on social media. Now, this wasn't on the episode, but they've been teasing this out there, which is, I would say, news. That this whole, and you mentioned already, the Rich Swann. Yeah. You see somebody in the locker room, it's like,
no way.
Hold on.
They're very excited. Yeah, it's for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. There was a preview put out a couple days ago. Preview for next week's Impact Wrestling. Looks like there's setting up a 4-on-4 match, and Scott D'Amore is talking to Rich Swann. He notices that his particular tag team is short one person, and it looks like there's a surprise for their tag team for this Tuesday. And they don't show them, but they all go into Scott's office, and they're all excited to see the mystery person. And we've been talking about this, kind of like in our own chat, like, oh, who's this? Sharing this. Discord.
Is our Discord going off about it?
Yeah, Discord's talking about it too.
I have a great guess for it, though. I'm going to put mine out in a second. I have a great guess for it. I told you guys. But well, go ahead, Jay. Finish your thought. I'll put mine after that.
Oh, just yeah, and look, and there's been little things that we've seen online. Something dropped today that people are starting to share and thinking it could be, and it's a name
That's my guess. Well, sorry to interrupt, Jay.
No, that's okay.
That was my guess. I said
that's who hit it today.
Chris Hero is what I'm thinking. Who it is? Anyway,
he dropped on Twitter that he's got some surprise going on next week, and that's got people talking. And ever since all those people got let go from up north, and he was at the top of my list as far as Impact bringing in anyone. I would love to see him get a fresh start on a brand and get treated with respect, because he's just a great old school ass kicker. Yeah. He needs. They just I'm not going to knock the guy publicly on here for making the choices he did. He went back to WWE, and I was really hoping for big things for him, and they just never gave it to him. They gave him like one championship shot right when he came back, and then they stuck him over in the UK, which I didn't watch it, so I never knew what he was doing. So, I suppose that's my fault, but whatever.
Listen, I think he's a perfect one. Do we all want to give a guess out, though? I mean, Alicia, you have any idea who that could possibly be behind door number one?
There's so many options. I think I'm just gonna leave it up to the element of surprise,
which is fun. Bill, you got one? You want to sound off him? I said Chris Hero a couple days ago. I guess you say he teased it out.
He did tease it out. I think it makes sense. Like, I'm sure a lot of the AEW fans, and if any of them are joining us tonight, storyline wise, but it's probably very optimistic, would be Moxley. But he makes the most sense storyline wise, or maybe Phoenix, former Lucha Brother.
I remember you saying that.
They make the most sense storyline wise.
Is Phoenix in the story with them? Is that what's going on? Okay, all right. That makes sense. Okay,
and then Pac, but he really, I guess he could storyline wise, but he has no connection to Impact.
I guess it's more fun if it is an AEW guy, where it's like, we got one of yours now or whatever, right?
That's what everyone's been clamoring for.
Yeah, true. Is the reveal is for sure this Tuesday though? That's
this Tuesday.
I think we're just going to see that segment. That could be.
Yeah, that's what I think.
The segment early, and they could tell you by the end of the show, or you might not. Who knows?
I don't know if we'll find out by the end of this one, but yeah, we'll see. Now that's for No Surrender, right? That's supposed to be a No Surrender setup. Is that correct, or is that a TV setup?
It could be. Well, it could lead to something at No Surrender by some means. Because I think, big picture here is Moose and Swan. So it's basically Team Moose versus Team Swan. There's 4-on-4 coming this Tuesday, which those are fun. It gets everybody involved, and it's kind of like feels kind of like not to quote another company, but kind of a Survivor Series feels. And I like that kind of stuff, so we don't see that very much, besides regular tag team stuff. Get some big names involved.
There it is. Happened this Tuesday.
Oh, that's for this Tuesday. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I must have missed where that was the official proclamation for Tuesday. I don't know. I must have missed that. Okay,
but the tag that's set up for No Surrender that they announced for as far as news, that's pretty exciting.
Cool. All right. What else we got, guys? Let's open up any other topics we want to talk about or anything anybody's mind. Let's put that. We're about the halfway point. Want to open it up about here? What do we want to talk about? What do we got? Any topics? Bill, you see anything in there? Throw it up.
I'm looking back from the beginning.
I'm just going to
throw them in there, everybody. Everyone throw them in there.
People are saying Penta, Relic, which is killer spelled backwards, Sean Spears, D-Ray 3000, whatever happened to that guy, Monty Brown, I don't see it being Trey, Bully Ray.
Oh, Lance Hoyt. Yeah, he's hinted at crossing the line. He's newly shorn. I think he shaved his head. That's going to be crazy wicked to see him.
He did pass along another message from Monty Brown to a fan today, I saw.
Really?
Yeah, so he's been talking to Monty.
Man, interesting.
Man.
You know, are people fighting in this chat again over stuff? I keep seeing arguments every week with these people going at it in this chat. You guys got to lay off on these fights.
They're very excited. They're very passionate fans.
Interesting.
Just be nice. Be nice.
The crowbar? That's an interesting guess. Wow.
Yeah, he's been very public lately. In fact, she's been showing up in a few interviews I've seen around. I think Goldilocks I've loved
Goldilocks just interviewed Slash Wolfie D from the old New Church, man. That's bonkers. She tracked him down. Anyway, no topics, Bill. What do we got there? Nothing? Nobody's put anything up?
Guys, throw it on. I'm seeing a little AEW talk, but
here we go. There's one right there at the end, Bill, from Ronan. Throw that up.
One you just get one in there.
Throw that in
there. You go. There you go. Yeah, controversial tonight. Let's go.
Jesus Christ, you guys aren't giving us anything tonight. We're gonna get out of here soon. That's how you guys right.
Shortest show ever.
Seriously, right? Would you guys like to see Tessa back? I'll start Alicia on this one. I'll let Alicia take this one first.
Would we like to see Tessa back? I don't think is the right question. Why would they bring her back if they would fire her so drastically and dramatically the way they did?
Perfect. Exactly.
In that short of a time, think about the logic behind that. We can all speculate till the cows come home, but we don't know what actually happened. But from a fan's perspective, what happened was really messy. And how do you quickly bounce back and recover that kind of business relationship?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then how do you not have a stigma going forward with it too? You know,
where's she been? You know what I mean? Yeah. Nothing against her. You know, she's a great wrestler. You know, I'm sure she's a great person in real life. But whatever happened, that was way too dramatic in public to just bounce back from so many less. 6 months, 9 months later?
Yeah. When did that happen? May or officially? When did
June?
They put the title
right
up in
before
June.
Slammiversary. Yeah, a couple weeks before Slammiversary.
Yeah, so early summerish. Yeah, and that's when she. It was a wedding or something.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, I think Alicia hit it on the head. I don't, Bill or Jay, if you got any other take on that, but I think that's really the best take I've heard. Really, is that the right question? Even would you like to see her back? Does it make sense to have her back? You know,
I think maybe in time. Because, look, she is talented, but I think you got to spend a little time away because of what happened. I don't think you can just bounce back, you know. You got to, I hate to say pay for your transgressions, but, just, you know.
All right. Bill, you got a take on that one?
She's not going anywhere.
I think Jay's kind of right on this. Obviously, they were big proponents of her. They gave her that 7-month storyline with Sammy. They put the belt on her. They were all Tessa. So she would have to really come. And obviously, if she's been kind of blackballed due to what happened here, and she can't really get another job, and had to come back tail between the legs and say, I'll come back. I'll sign a multi-year deal and at a better price than you guys. If she did all that, but then she would still have to cut promos, kind of acknowledging it. It would be a tough. It would really be an about face for a professional wrestler to go through all this, as opposed to going somewhere for a cup of coffee and maybe coming back next year. That's probably enough time that goes by. Because I think they would. I wouldn't say the door's closed at Impact just because they invested so much in her. I think they could always be like, oh, we brought back that former champion. But how much time is enough time? We were mentioning Elgin. Elgin, he got smacked. He's been smacked down off the roster. And all the rumors were, it was we want to bring you back. That's what everyone thought. We want to bring you back, but you got to let it cool down. Has it cooled down? I think what happened with his, it got worse while the cooldown was trying. But the same thing with social media with Tessa. Does it ever go away?
Yeah. People still talk about it.
Yeah, people love to bring up old shit just for the sake of bringing up old shit.
Let's talk J Bone's favorite company. Let's talk AEW for a second here.
Whoa. That's fine.
They had a guy that got in there with transgression. Now, they had a couple guys. One we haven't heard from, but another guy got If you're listening to audio, I'm slapping my wrist right now.
It is his wrist. We can confirm it's just his wrist. Go ahead.
Yeah. And that is that one Sammy Guevara got a slap on the wrist, and pretty much all's forgotten once he showed back up. Maybe a week or two of negative press after he came back.
Yeah.
So the more they get back, the better. Like, so it's whoever gives that first chance. Now, will Impact give it to these guys, or they all got to go somewhere else? Like, did Elgin need to go, which is tough in COVID times, to like another country, work for a little bit, and then come back? But is Impact willing to do it? Like, you're going to take something for a week or two, but AEW showed they're willing to do it. So maybe they will. Maybe they could do it with Tessa. She's a talent. She's one of the best talents in the business.
Maybe, man. It's going to be tough with her. It's just right now, it's more tactical than I think it is. You got to do it. If you're going to do it, it's got to be done the right way. The only people that can do it and not acknowledge anything is up north. They'll act like, because they're in their own little silo anyway, they act like nothing else exists outside of their bubble. So they're like,
they'll burn you. They don't give two shits.
Yeah. But Alicia, were you going to say something? I didn't cut you off.
I was just going to say, but also think about it. Like, after all that, where would you bring her in? Would you put her right back at the top of the men's division, or where would she have to go back with the women? Because then she walks right back in and is against Kenny Omega, because that's where that seems to be going.
Go back to the knockouts. She replaces Ty in a way is what you would do. And
it's backtracking. It puts her at the right before she even became hot in the company. Then because she dominated the women's division. Yeah,
that'd come up, and so that's part of. She'd have to do like a 6 month to a year mid card. That's how you deal with that.
Well, that was the thing about her winning the belt in the first place. It's like, can she ever even go back to the knockouts division after that? Like, what? How do you? What do you do? Like, once you reach that, you've done.
You remember Taya technically had a world title match with her as well, and she went back to the knockouts.
Yeah,
but that was right before everything went south.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a weird position to be in with it, but we'll see. Listen, I never say never. You've seen the weirdest thing people come back, like the most random comebacks with bridges burned and everything. I wouldn't say no. In terms of like, can it happen? Never say never.
Yeah, give her a tag partner. Knockouts tag titles.
I can turn it on anytime, Pat. Come on, no problem.
There you go.
Throw another one there, Bill. We got one more. We'll do another couple.
Actually, her and Jordan Grace if Jazz retires. There you go.
Oh man, listen, Jordan and Jazz have been doing pretty good. I like that. Anything else in there? No other topics? What else we got here?
Let's see. That got some questions going, but hold on.
Did it? Okay. All right. Here's Armand's got a good one in there. That's an interesting one to talk about. We'll bring that up real quick.
Which one? The last? Would you bring in? You're talking about asking who he's going to bring in?
I mean, it's controversial. It's
controversial. Okay. All right. It's a controversial night. I'm liking this.
And I wouldn't. I'm going to asking, would you bring in Marty Scurll? Such a big name and all that. Okay. So he had a sexual indiscretion, right? Big name and all, but I think
honestly, he confirmed it. But it's all like he's questioning. It's technically not illegal where it happened.
No,
it's
ridiculous.
This one's tough.
I wanted to bring this up because I want to straight up just say no. Because secondly, on top, like he had his name, but I feel like ever since people saw that side and then like the justification and all that went on, the industry cooled on this guy immediately. Like, you know what? Forget it. Like, you weren't really that good to begin with, or whatever the fuck. Like, nobody really cared about him anymore. And I think it's easy to be a waste of our time. He'd be a waste of Impact money and resources. And he's way too deep in the hole to dig out of at this point.
Yeah. And Ring of Honor, I guess, just parted ways with him. So.
Nobody wants anything to do with him. Like, that's the thing. You at a certain point, you're labeled that we're like, you're just not welcome. That's it. You're just not welcome here. And he got put into that category. And that's what happens, man.
I personally think he's done.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's going to have to wrestle, which he's from the UK and all. He's going to wrestle somewhere else in the world.
Somebody will hire him.
Maybe for a couple of years. And then someone might give something but it's weird. It's like a different world. Like back in the day, I feel these things happened a lot more often. And like a year or two would go by and then everyone would be back again. I don't know if that happens today. I think people have there's memories with the internet now that there weren't 20 years ago.
No,
where these guys would never work again. But The wrestling business, we're talking. This is carnies. This is the carny business.
Yeah.
It's more polished today, but a carny's got a carny. And if you think someone can draw, even on an indie show, they'll be like, we can bring this guy in, and he was buddies with the Young Bucks. Oh yeah, okay, all right, yeah, we'll draw.
I mean, look at. There's been IWA comes to mind. Like they would bring in anybody who nobody would touch. Like, well, we'll bring him in because they got a name, you know. Like they don't.
Yeah,
Carney's got a carny, but like you mentioned, Bill, there's memories out there now. Hey, I love Impact Wrestling, and the furthest thing I want is like them to have any kind of bullshit to deal with. Like for bringing one guy in, we're going to sacrifice all the goodwill we got for what? For what? A partial draw, if that. It's not even worth it to me at this point.
Well, yeah, you saw what they did over the summer. They cleaned house with anybody that was associated with that list. Now there were people on that list, like the Will Ospreys and all, that got pulled back later. But and they're working now. It's tough. It's a lot of gray area because a major TV promotion has a lot of things to think about. You got advertisers, you got all kinds of things.
Investors. There's a lot of big elements that go into that shit that they have no control over.
Yep.
Yeah, the company, I mean.
Yeah, it's the big picture stuff that we're not privy to. Like everybody outside that we don't, we have no clue.
The suits, guys.
Suits.
Yeah, people in charge of advertising. How many times we've seen that in just sports? So and so pulls a sponsorship because something happened.
Controversial.
You just can't afford it, man. You just cannot afford it.
If that starts happening, your show's done. If no one wants to advertise on your show, that's it. That's it. Your show is done.
I think Terrence says it. Impact's not that desperate for talent. You know what I mean? Like you don't need it that bad.
No. The promotion that is that desperate, but I don't think they're at that spot.
Bill, there's one here I want to put up from perfect. Go ahead. I was going to say, yep.
Right. Yeah, Eric Travis here. Question: who are some women in X Division you would like to see in EY stable, and you will not mind a women's Super Cup with AEW and Impact women?
I would not mind that for women in the. To see an EY stable, man, who's a knockout who could fit an EY stable right off the bat?
Oh, I think there's someone perfect that's even said publicly that she's coming back to Impact very soon.
Oh, Taylor Wilde?
Someone that was at an altar with the head of Violent by Design.
Mm-hmm.
They held
something else.
They held a certain tag team championship together.
And she makes really good barbecue sauce.
Yeah. I think a heel ODB, a badass ODB, and
That'd
it's funny.
Cool.
I just reviewed one of the Knockouts specials that they put because January is Knockouts month on Impact Plus, and ODB was heel in this tournament to find the number one contender for the Knockouts championship, and she made it all the way to the end, and it was crazy seeing her as a big time heel. She broke a Jack Daniels bottle over Awesome Kong's head. I was like, holy shit. So yeah, that would be perfect for Eric.
That's a good guess. That's a real good guess.
I just worry that she might not be around long term is my worry for ODB.
Well, she moved south because her business was all based just west of here in Minnesota. And now she moved her truck down south and it's in Florida. She was doing what you met her, Bill. You were at her truck outside the AEW. It was at Daly's place.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's talking about...
I got the Double D cup.
I'm
assuming that's an item on the menu.
It's on the menu.
Okay, all right.
Come on,
man. Well, it's she's a all right. So
yeah, a Johnny Bravo moment down there.
Whew. Oh yeah, it's getting warmer here. But I would love. I'm excited to see her back. There's other rumored people that are coming back. This is an exciting time. 2021 is going to be fun to see some veteran knockouts come back to the company. And when it happens, and look, it may not happen immediately. We have to be patient. This is what times are we living in? We know all this. So, but it'll be sometime within the next, I'd say, couple months. We're going to see some new veteran knockout faces.
Cool, very cool. What else we got there, Bill? Anything else in there? I saw another question about something.
There's a couple.
Yeah,
but I think other than ODB, I know a couple people threw in the chat. Killer Kelly, if she were to come back. Talent.
Yeah.
She
Can
would
you
be
imagine?
a very good fit.
Yes, she would be a good fit, no doubt.
But if you want like an outside the box, just because I think her character could use it, just let's go off the wall. Dashwood.
Oh yes,
Just Dashwood. And who knows? Maybe like she does like a Roxy Laveau and shaves her head and just like gets crazy.
Oh, that ain't gonna happen. But I see your point. I've been saying that Tennille needs a more vicious streak to her. So I could see that happening. Her dropping Caleb and being like, yeah, but not the shaved head thing.
All right, maybe she puts it in a ponytail.
Yeah, that's
that's
hashtag tough bitch.
This is interesting. This is very interesting. That's an interesting idea. We'll see. I think they're investing a lot into Violent by Design right now because of the they got the new T-shirt and everything. I mean, this is long term. They have no other faction, so I definitely do not doubt this is going to grow in some way. So we'll see. That's a good one. It's a real good one. Good guesses on that.
Here's a couple just like names coming back.
Okay.
Here's Sting. If either, oops, my bad.
Wait a minute. There we go. Either team returns. Go ahead.
Yeah, there you go.
Go ahead, Bill.
If either team returned to Impact from AEW, who would you prefer? Lucha Bros, Santana Ortiz, or SCU? Or for our Impact fans, we don't know them as SCU.
No, we don't.
Bad Influence.
I'm gonna say bad. I go Bad Influence because you kind of the other ones are a bit more current. Like bring back some of the old guys. Bring those guys back in. I like Bad Influence. I'm going. That's my vote. Alicia, you with me on that?
Yes, I'm gonna. Yeah,
all right, I agree. 2 for Bad Influence. Bill, Jay, what do you guys got?
That's tough. That's really tough. I love all 3 of these groups. I love Lucha Brothers for other reasons because we saw them in another kind of wrestling universe called Lucha Underground. But man, I love me some Bad Influence, and they can still go, and they still look great. So
yeah.
I'm just gonna put in a third vote for SCU.
Ooh, there you go.
I hate to go against it because I love Bad Influence. I think multiple Bad Influence T-shirts, but
no surprise there at all, Bill. None whatsoever.
And I do like Santana Ortiz, but it had to be under the LAX gimmick, so you need Conan, and there's all kinds of things.
The full deal, yeah.
Yeah, you need the full deal. Not just a Santana Ortiz from AEW.
No, you need Diamante, you need Conan.
Yeah, I need the whole thing. I need the whole thing. I need to go like this. Yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah.
So I go Lucha Brothers is who I go.
Okay,
because I think you can do tag team, but I'd be having them do singles matches as well. And I still think obviously Pentagon was a world champion. I think Phoenix is still one of the best wrestlers in the world that has not gotten his full due yet.
Not at all.
If he went up north, that's one guy that maybe should have not gone south because he really would be the Rey Mysterio of today if he went up north because he's just got all of it. He's got all the tools to be a superstar. And for like going back down to Mexico again when things open up, the Lucha Brothers would be just a thing to have. So that's who I would bring back. I was thrilled for the same reason that Jay says with Lucha Underground and just knowing what they were doing around they were doing some stuff with you up at AEW and stuff. They were starting to Pro Wrestling Underground. They were making their way on the indies. So when they got there, it was like, oh, this is great. Like, how did they pull this off? Master stroke. But I didn't think it would be for that long. It was actually longer than I thought that they had them. That's who I bring back. I think they move the needle. I think the most. They
everywhere they've gone, indie wise, and I know they hit you two on the East Coast, Midwest. They were all over. I mean, they were fixtures at AEW. I mean, I worked with them extensively here, and every time they're on the poster, people come out. You know, they draw the Mexican audience. They draw the crossover audiences on the U.S. side. I mean, they are just, people want to see Lucha Brothers no matter what they're on, and I wouldn't mind them either, man. Wouldn't mind. Let's do one more. Well, go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, hey, Santana Ortiz even made it up here to Milwaukee for a House of Hardcore show. That was great.
If we're looking at the last one, I got to look for a good one here.
I miss House of Hardcore.
Yeah, me too.
I can't wait to go back.
I think he'll restart it. I think he'll put it back out. I mean,
when things are normal, fingers crossed.
Yeah, within the next year, we got to be patient because, I mean, the vaccine is out and, I mean, some things are starting to open up. Like, hey, I watched the Packer game today and they had
20,000 people in the fucking audience today. I was like, what the hell was this, man?
Yeah, they had several thousand people there, and hey, and they were all spaced, several rows apart. It was just nice to see fans there. So
I definitely think. Well, Mania's going to have fans. They've already said it. They're doing the stadium thing too. It's the start of it, man. Numbers are going really. I mean, this weekend was supposedly really good. It's getting there. We'll get there. You never know what can happen by Bound for Glory time. We'll see. But go ahead. Bro. What do you got?
Yeah.
I will close with this one here. What do we got?
Yeah, although there are some people throwing up stuff there, which is interesting. So, all right, Third Chuckle Bro. If you had to offer 4 talents, 5-year contracts, so the core, who would you want the core to build the company around? 2 women, 2 men.
2 women, 2 men. This is fun.
2 current roster members and let's say 2 independent. So, let's see, does that just 4 is only 2 allowed from the roster? I don't know. You can look at that either way. Decide how you want to go with that. You go from the existing roster or 2 from and 2 from not.
Okay, it's 2 from. So I'll do like 1. Well, so it's 2 women, 2 men. So I'll give one current man, 1 current woman, 1 indie, and 1. Okay, we'll do it that way.
So for indie, it's someone who's not on the roster,
right?
I would say not officially signed.
Okay.
Because that opens up some channels.
Okay, to build around. Interesting. I go with Sammy for the guy because I think he's a complete team player. Like he is, you build a company around Sami Callihan and you can roll with it forever. That's he's already signed. I know that, but like if you're saying if you guys are asking for who to core it with, I'd say Sammy for the male side, Deanna on the women's side for sure. Indie wise to bring in to build around, man, this is tough. A lot of the women got scooped up recently too. So there's a lot of women who have been scooped up on the indies already. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think who's out there, who's left out there. I like Mance Warner a lot. I think Mance is a good guy to come in, and he could absolutely be like your Steve Austin. And your DDP, Steve, that real like man of the people kind of guy. I'd say him for the male, for indie male, and then indie female. Oh man, like I said, that a lot of them got scooped up recently. I'm trying to think who's left, man. Shit. Fuck. I'm stuck on the women's side.
That's a tough one with there. That's why I use the technicality. I'll go Killer Kelly.
Yeah, I
not signed.
I might default to Killer Kelly, but I'll say, let's say Christy Janes. I'll say because she's one of the more popular unsigned ones right now. And she's fun. She's a good addition to a roster. I think she could do good for the knockouts. I don't know. Go ahead.
There you go.
Who wants to take that next? That requires some thought for me.
See the smoke.
Yeah. Go ahead. Who has this one next?
That's tough.
Yeah, Alicia can take it. Who do you got?
Okay, so as far as I'll start with the independent female first, and I'm going to say Lufisto.
Yeah, Lufisto's still out there.
I would like to see Casey Navarro.
Oh shit! Yeah,
because I said it before, dude's already got the character, and it's a character that fits in with how Impact does its stories. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like they could go comedy with him, or they could go serious, and it would both be believable. Now, as far as someone who's already signed, I agree with Sammy. But as far as our woman, that's where I get like, because we got so many good people on the spot. It will be a toss-up for me. I want to say, this is tough. This is really tough. Kimberly.
I thought, did she not sign? Oh, she's saying build it. Yeah.
Someone who's already signed who they could build it on. Because I love everybody, but I have high hopes for Kimberly as far as how strong she's come in and everything. So that's just where I'm based on.
Oh yeah,
that would make sense. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah,
nice. Take it, Jay. Why don't you take this one next?
Oh, let's start. Let's see, a guy to build the company around in Impact. I gotta say Sammy. He's so good. Woman. Oh man. If she wasn't just exited, I would have said Taya.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm going to say. I'm going to say Su Yung.
Susan.
Young. just because she's done so much and evolved so much and proven herself. Like, wow, like where's this coming from? She's so good and so entertaining. Independent, man. Guys, I don't know. Woman, I was thinking about this while you guys were talking. Now, this is a little out of left field, but hear me out on this. Mm-hmm. A lot of people got signed from Lucha Underground, some here, some there, some on this show, some on that show. And one that kind of fell by the wayside that, like, we just haven't seen, like, unless you look them up on social media, is Katrina. Katrina that used to be on Lucha Underground. I would have loved to seen her get a fresh start on Impact Wrestling, either come in as what she was, like, you know, and she was kind of like a mysterious valet, kind of like a female version of Father James Mitchell, a little bit of supernatural. I think she would have fit in perfect. Okay. And then to complement that, someone that just came back to TV recently. Unfortunately, it's on a brand that I don't watch much. But Mil Muertes.
Wow.
Where did he come back to?
He just showed up at with Selena De La Renta at MLW.
He was Judas Macias, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So he has a
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? So, I met him, and I expected him to be like really tall, but he's not that tall. He's a big dude, but he's not that much taller than him. He's like an inch taller than him.
He's probably like 5'10", but I think they put some No,
I think he's a thick guy. You know, like super nice guy though. I was wearing a Ronnie James Dio t-shirt, and we had a whole 10-minute conversation about Dio. Nice. It was awesome. But all right, Bill, close it out. What's your job? We'll be right at our time limit.
Yeah, a lot of good names there mentioned. I don't disagree with really any of them. Yeah, so I'll just try to make it a little different with maybe some different names here. Obviously, I agree with there's so many good talents on the roster. You could pick a number of them. Everyone that was said is a good one. So just to mix it up, I gotta say Moose for sure. But I feel bad that no one said Ace Austin. He's my runner-up. Would love to say Ace Austin.
There's a lot to say. That's the thing.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
And from the roster, it's a broken record with Deanna, Sue. Like they're right near the top of the list. And then obviously I had mentioned to you Killer Kelly, but going from somebody else out there on the indie scene, it depends on what you want to consider. I've been seeing it. Like Holoded's a very good one out there. And it depends what you want to consider Thunder Rosa. Is she signed? Is she not signed? I don't think she's signed. Yeah. I consider her not signed. So I'd say I'd bring them both in for knockouts, tag titles, and obviously Thunder Rosa. But I think both of them, Holoded could also go for a singles title too. So
I thought Billy Corgan said that Thunder Rosa is signed for the next year.
He says a lot of stuff. Stick to the songs. Play your song boy.
Wow.
Isn't Thunder Rosa on AEW now though?
I don't show her roster though. I think she's kind of just there.
She appears a lot. So does Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb is the NWA Women's Champion. So they've had a few of the NWA Women's, division on there. Nobody from the men's. It's very interesting. Like they haven't had Eli Drake on there, or like James Storm isn't signed. They haven't brought him in. There's a lot of people that they haven't brought in that are still considered signed, but so many have jumped over to AEW that were signed that let their contracts go, like Eddie Kingston, Ricky Starks, just to name a few.
Yeah. A lot of people in the chat were saying Camille Brickhouse, too. That's another one that comes up a lot. I know she's pretty NWA through and through, but I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, other than Nick Aldis, I won't consider really anybody else under the NWA banner not available. I think they're all available.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good one to close it out. A lot of names, a lot of.
But I will say for the indie person, the male indie talent, even though they're technically signed the MLW, I will also keep those with a grain of salt contracts, and I will put Jordan Oliver because he does a ton of indies as the guy that I would go after.
He's got that group, right? Young, Dumb, and fucking Broke.
Young, Dumb, and Broke, yeah.
They look like such sleazeballs. None of them look like wrestlers. They when I remember when we brought him in a year ago to AEW, last January, brought him in. Actually, a year ago today, brought him in. And I remember thinking, I'm like, what? I'm like, who the fuck do these guys think they are? And then, like, one of the owners of AEW looked at me, he goes, that's the point. For you to have that reaction is exactly the fucking point. And I was like, look at these fucking ass. They don't look like wrestlers. They walk around act like they own the place. He goes, exactly. That's it. I'm like, shit, that worked. Sign them. Fuck it. So, cool. Let's end it on that. That's good. We're at the hour. So thank you guys. That's a lot of good response in the chat, too. We appreciate all that. If you're listening after the fact on YouTube or wherever you're listening, put your thoughts in the comments. Like, if you got guesses or choices or whatever, put them in the comments. We'll look at them after. We respond.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah. What do you got?
Oh. Hold on. I think we might have a last minute fly-in possibly. Yeah, it depends. I don't know. It's a bad connection. They may or may not be in the room. We don't know.
They're not in the room, but
they're not in the room yet. But they might. It depends. They might come. If we had a 15-minute outro, they'd probably make it.
Sorry, we're getting out. We're getting our plugs in here. We're getting out of here. All right, let's get our plugs in while we'll see if that pans out. All right, Alicia, where can they connect over with you? Where can they get you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under the handle Alicia B. Cakey.
There you go. Awesome. Bill, where are you at on the socials?
Well, no longer Sweet Pea here is on the Twitter and the Instagram at my name William M. Gardner, Gardner.
The OnlyFans, though, still active. OnlyFans.com/FrontRowBill. It's just pictures of Bill in the front row and various T-shirts. So you can pay for that. $10 a month.
Some suits, who knows?
That's so hot.
Very nice. Jay, plug all your stuff. I like Critical Stick. Abort Mission.
You can find me over at other little podcast called Smash This Podcast. 7 years going now. It's on YouTube, Twitch, and all the socials. You can find Smash This Podcast on the Facebotch, the Twitter box, and that Instaneck. And we'll be back. We'll be back Monday. I don't know what we're doing yet, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Jay, well, you let me know, because Baz and I are going to do Backstage Boys on Monday as well. We're going to go a little bit later, so we'll figure it all out. So probably if you guys want a double header, it'll be maybe Jay first and Backstage Boys next, or vice versa. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Who knows? A whole evening of programming.
Maybe we'll get Jay Bone on the Backstage Boys podcast, and we'll do that.
Backstage Bone?
Backstage Bone, man.
I thought, she knows stories about the Backstage Bone. Yeah, I'd like that, actually. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk.
You have to go behind the curtain at the video store for that.
We'll talk, Jay. We'll talk tomorrow about that.
I've never entered one of those establishments.
Guys, you can get me at Trentzuberry over on Twitter, and this show at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just type in We Talk Impact or Total Nonstop Impact. We come right up. Twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact. ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Get your t-shirts. YouTube.com/Total Nonstop Impact. which, by the way, we're looking into. YouTube has a membership type tier, very similar to Twitch, and they sent us an email about it that we could start that up on YouTube. And I want to put this back out on Tuesday as well with the listeners on Tuesday on the main show. If this is something you guys are interested in doing, like there's Twitch followers who like to do the Twitch subscriptions, very similar to the Twitch subbing, where you get emotes, you get a private chat, you get priority chat, all sorts of stuff. If you're a YouTube user, premium user, whatever, let us know if that's something you're interested in, and we'll look into signing that up. We might just do it anyway. I don't think it costs us anything to get it going, but if you're interested in doing that, let us know and we'll really get it going. Yeah, so Jay, I was gonna discuss that with you offline.
Oh,
what we need to do about it. We have to put some stuff in, and we got to set it up essentially. But if you guys are interested in that, let us know. But it's basically YouTube's version of Twitch subbing and things like that. And then also, guys, our Discord link is in the description. Get that. All audio formats. This podcast, Tuesday's show, bikes and stuff, throwback. It's all on audio. Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. Rate, review, subscribe. Our show schedule, guys, Sunday nights, Impact Plus Weekly, Open Forum Talk, Xplosion, General Topics. Tuesdays, the flagship show, post-show for Impact Wrestling, the official, unofficial post-show for Impact Wrestling. We go live 15 minutes after Impact goes off the air. We get interviews. We got all sorts of stuff. Welcome to all the new AEW fans that have now joined us from that. The numbers show it. We're glad to have you guys hanging out with us. We appreciate that. Thursday nights, Asylum Throwbacks. We're on number 55 this coming week. NWA team number 55. Check it out on the Impact Plus app. Fridays is the TNI UK team, Bison Joe and now Steve. They do their thoughts of the week. They bring down the different news, rumors, that kind of thing. General discussion, thoughts from across the pond, I like to call it. So it's the UK guys giving their thoughts and stuff. So that's the whole schedule. Did I miss anything, guys?
You missed one.
What?
The next time we are actually going live for the co-stream Tuesday. Watch Impact on Access TV with us.
I'm sorry, Bill. But yes, Bill and J Bone every Tuesday night during the Impact Twitch stream, co-streaming that right here. Join them in conversation.
Yeah, we don't cross streams.
We don't cross streams.
We co-stream, we don't cross them.
Definitely don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams.
You said that perfectly, Jim, just like in Ghostbusters. Very nice. Awesome, guys. We're going to get out of here. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Great great start to your week. We'll see you Tuesday night back on Twitch, YouTube, live. Bring your comments, bring your thoughts. We'll have news, everything going on. We might have a guest or two. We have a guest on Tuesday. We got
one or two.
We have the one for sure. I got the two. The second one's going to be next week. I just confirmed that. Okay. I'll tell you guys off there. But tell us, we got Jonesy coming on, right?
Jonesy's coming on. He's dropping. He's taking pre-orders for the new Ace Austin T-shirt. And merch, like multiple T-shirts and I think stickers, something else. He said it for a lot of the other indie guys. So yeah, we'll have him on to start the review show.
Awesome. Jonesy, the artist, will be joining us. So guys, join us for that. We'll kick it off on Tuesday. We'll see you then. Everybody have a great week. Be safe out there. We'll talk to you Tuesday. Good night, everybody. What the hell?
How's everybody doing?
Get us off. We're off the air. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, damn it. I scared them all off.
Get out of here. We're out of here.
They thought it was over.
Oh, show started. Welcome, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans. Sunday dessert. It's dessert time.
It is dessert.
It's not.
Cherry
it's not
on
dessert.
top.
It's not dessert. We're getting out of here.
Damn it.
All right, Jay, end this broadcast.
I stretched it out enough.
Jay, hit the end button. Hit the
I
end
thought
button.
it was ended.
It's not over. Hit the end button.
It's still on. Everybody, I'm here.